on Sunrise and streaming on CrossRoadsToday.com. 4 convicted felons are back in custody after a search and arrest warrant. Hear what police found. And the SAG Actors Union is striking after failed talks with major studios and streaming services. We have the demands that went unmet. Plus, the first ever over-the-counter birth control pill now approved by the FDA. When will the pill be available for purchase in the U.S.? We've got you covered. That's coming up on Sunrise.
Okay, take a look on the outside. Nice view from Cuero, courtesy of the WeatherBug camera there. And the heat is on, definitely. How hot will it get today? Let's find out coming up in your forecast.
The athlete of the week has only been running track for a couple of months. Now he's heading to the Junior Olympics. That's coming up in sport.
You're watching 25 News Now Sunrise. Good morning and thank you for joining us. I'm Carolina Estrain.
I'm Trey Mining.
And today it's the 14th day of July 2023. The time is now 6:30, Trey, on our Friday morning. And speaking of fries, or, you know.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
It's National French Fry Day, and I did do a little bit of research. It came from a French chef named Honoré Julien.
Okay.
And it was dominant in, let's see, southern Belgium, I believe.
Interesting. Okay. They gradually made their way to America, I'm assuming.
They are very delicious.
They are. Well, you could use some right now, I'll tell you what.
Well, are we going to be feeling like we're frying outside today?
Yes, you will, definitely. You might have somebody who has some salt to put on you and turn you over when you're done. All right, let's take a look at that on the outside right now. We're seeing a few clouds out there this morning. No rain as of yet. Not anticipating any for the day today or anytime real soon, as a matter of fact. 82 degrees on the outside currently. With a feel-like temperature in Victoria already 93 degrees here at 6:30 a.m. That tells you right there it's going to be a hot day just on that notion right there. And current temperature is 82 degrees in Victoria and pretty much the same head north of Victoria toward Cuero and Hallettsville area to New York and Yorktown, down around the areas near Beeville as well. 80s along the immediate coast, mid-80s from Port O'Connor to Palacios area with the higher humidity right along the bayfront there. And this is something to keep in mind here, and something you need to know. This is the heat advisory, which does include Victoria County, Goliad, Refugio, Aransas County, Calhoun, Jackson, Matagorda, Wharton, and of the Houston-Galveston area and to the north from there. And the heat warnings, this is a little bit more serious as we go toward the 105 to 110 heat index value, more than likely up here, with the 110 to 112 possible heat index value from Hallettsville to Carson City down to Beeville and Sinton area. So definitely there, and all around the Crossroads region, temperatures will be at or above the 100-degree level for the heat index. So please be careful out there. Know your heat safety tips. Reduce your activities during the afternoon hours when the heat is at a maximum. So please keep that in mind. Drink plenty of water, find some shade. Watch out for others. Make sure everyone is safe out there. Don't get overheated, because if you do, it's not going to be a good thing, of course. But we'll keep the heat in for the time being, and then few clouds in the morning time, otherwise sun shining bright for us around here, keeping it on the hot side. Anything in the tropics to talk about? Weather is, as a matter of fact. Where is it? We'll take a look at that later on in the full forecast to come, later on this half hour. Carolina?
Thank you, Trey. The Food and Drug Administration has approved the first ever over-the-counter birth control pill here in the U.S. The oral contraceptive called Opill is expected to be available starting early next year without a prescription or any age restrictions. Until now, all birth control pills have required a prescription. Opill, known as the mini pill, is manufactured by Perrigo's HRA Pharma and is taken daily. It is the first approved by the FDA as a prescription in 1973. The company says the suggested retail price will be announced this fall. The U.S. now joins other nations that already allow the sale of non-prescription birth control pills. We'll go to Washington for the latest on the approval of the Opill later on Sunrise. The SAG Actors Union is going on strike. The strike comes after no deal was reached on the Hollywood actors' contract. The 2-week extension on talks did not help the two sides to reach a deal on a new contract before the deadline expired. The union says the group that represents major studios and streamers including Amazon, Apple, Disney, NBC Universal, Netflix, Paramount, Sony, and Warner Brothers Discovery remains unwilling to offer a fair deal on the key issues that are essential to SAG-AFTRA members. They are seeking higher compensation and safeguards around the use of artificial intelligence in the creative arts. 4 convicted felons are back in police custody following the execution of a search and arrest warrant. The warrant was served at a home in the 1900 block of Lawndale Avenue by Victoria PD's Special Crimes Unit and BPD SWAT. Authorities say guns and illegal drugs were found. 30-year-old Gabriel Harris, 32-year-old Lindsay Lira, and 20-year-old Trayvon Whitby, all convicted felons, were arrested and faced firearm and drug charges. The investigation also led to the arrest of 33-year-old Donnell Dilworth on unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon charges. The warrant was executed around 6:15 yesterday morning. We're continuing to follow a story out of Jackson County about a jail employee arrested for inappropriate sexual acts with an inmate. The Jackson County Herald Tribune reports authorities have released the name of the employee arrested. He is 58-year-old Donald J. Morris. Morris was only employed as a jailer at the jail for 7 months before the violation. The Texas Rangers are investigating the case. Morris faces charges of violating the civil rights of a person in custody and improper sexual activity with a person in custody. The bond was set at $75,000. Jackson County Sheriff Kelly Janica released this statement on social media. "I will continue to hold the men and women that work for you to the highest standards. I will not tolerate any willful criminal conduct by anyone." 25 News Now has requested a copy of the arrest warrant and Morris's mugshot. If going fishing is in your weekend plans, don't forget your bait and hooks. Here's Sports Director Gino Perez with what you can expect to catch out on the water.
Grab your poles, Crossroads. It's time to go fishing. In East Matagorda Bay, the best fishing is in the southeast winds when wade fishing using croaker bait. In West Matagorda Bay, use artificial baits when wade fishing, also on the southeast winds. In Port O'Connor, redfish are good near the jetties on Spanish sardines. And in Rockport, redfish are best on topwaters, and trout are good in the early mornings in 2 to 4 feet of water. Good luck and be safe out there. That's your 25 Sports Now fishing report.
All right, remember, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today. Hit the like button and click the notification bell. The time is now 6:36 on your Friday morning. Here's a look at what's coming up on 25 News Now Sunrise. Law enforcement officers say fentanyl is deadly, and the issues caused by the drug are going to get worse before they get better.
The first ever over-the-counter contraceptive could be widely available as early as next year. I'm ABC's Justin Finch with more on the FDA's landmark approval of the O-pill.
Quick look at the tropics, pretty quiet in the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean Sea, most of the Atlantic Ocean. There is some activity out in the tropics we'll talk about. I'll let you know what it is coming up after the break.
Here's a look at what's coming up on Community Crossroads. We hear from Theatre Victoria, the Victoria Police Department, the Quero Chamber of Commerce, and we also learn about a speech therapy.
And symptoms could be anything from difficulty chewing, holding food in your mouth, difficulty swallowing, coughing, throat clearing after the swallow, and then just feeling like food is stuck in your throat.
Good morning. Current time is 6:39, and I showed you a little bit earlier before the break how quiet the tropics were. They typically are, and they are definitely now from Gulf of Mexico to the Caribbean Sea out in the Atlantic Ocean. We do have one named storm out there. There it is right there. See spinning around there. That's Tropical Storm Don. There you go. And it's way out here in the northern parts of the Atlantic Ocean. It kind of wander around and not really impacting anyone out there except the fish. So just to let you know the hurricane season's still there, 50-mile-per-hour winds if you're tracking it. There's coordinates, by the way. So the tropics are still in the process of getting a little bit better active, and typically in the months of August and September are the most active months. We'll keep watching them, of course. And looking at the feel-like temperature is still going to be an issue today. Definitely hot around here. As they go toward the 10 a.m. hour, everyone at or just below the 100-degree feel-like temperature heat index value, and working throughout the rest of the time period. By 1 o'clock, 105 to 106 heat index value all the way from the coast, the inland areas, and the areas out here, western parts of Crossroads and northern areas of the Crossroads as well. They have the excessive heat emergency, excessive heat warning in effect. So please take that into consideration. It's very hot temperatures. It's easy to get overheated in temperatures like this, even down the coast. So watch out for others, drink plenty of water and find some shade. Your full forecast comes up a little bit later on before we go this half hour. Back to you, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey. We now meet the athlete of the week. Here's our sports team.
At Crossroads, our athlete of the week is training via YouTube videos with the help of his grandparents. Now he's headed to the Junior Olympics. Sports reporter Zach Brown caught up with the young phenom.
Runners, take your mark. Set. Go.
Refugio is known for its blazing speed, and now you can name our athlete of the week, Aiden Scott, to that list. The 8-year-old has only been running for a total of 8 weeks. He now qualifies for the Junior Olympics. He gained that inspiration by watching the state champion Bobcats simply out of boredom before coaches let him join practices.
I saw the high schoolers out here running, so I asked the coach if I can start running with them, and I started coming up with I want to start my own track.
He's just got something that is really a gift. And so what better way to keep a kid busy, especially during the summer when there's no school going on, than, hey, put him out on the track for a little while, let him run.
He moves well on the track. He moves a lot more off of it. He lives in a military family with his mother currently stationed overseas, prompting his move from El Paso to Refugio. Through it all, he is still a happy kid working out with his friend Annie nearly every day. Not typical of an 8-year-old kid, but here's why.
The good thing about my grandparents is that they don't have a PlayStation or an Xbox. We're outside.
We don't have electronic babysitters in our house. We get them outside. We do things with them, and that's where this really led to. That's the root cause. He was bored one day, decided he wanted to go watch some kids run, and ended up on the track with them.
His grandmother was also a track star herself, part of the 1985 through 1987 teams. Aiden is hoping to mimic her success. His grandfather jokes, maybe track just runs in the family genes, and says Aiden cares more about hitting PRs than qualifying for the Junior Olympics. He is obsessed with getting better.
I push myself to get better, and at the 400 and the 200, and I do strength to get my legs stronger, and I push myself harder to get stronger and better.
Aiden leaves for Des Moines, Iowa at the end of the month. Hopefully he accomplishes his goals. That's your 25 Sports Now.
All right, thank you, Gino. We want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Now to a history-making decision from the Food and Drug Administration. For the first time, the agency has approved the over-the-counter sale of a contraceptive pill. The once prescription-only O pill is expected to be available early next year.
The country now reacting to the Food and Drug Administration's landmark decision approving the over-the-counter sale of the O-pill oral contraceptive.
I think that's a good idea that there's a new one-pill option that doesn't have to loop pharmacists or doctors into the equation.
I feel a little bit sad because, women are left with that option as their last resort, really.
As of now, the once-a-day hormonal birth control pill is prescription only, but with the FDA sign-off, it soon won't even require so much as a doctor's visit.
patients will be able to walk into a grocery store, a drugstore, online, and purchase this like they purchase Advil, Tylenol, or something like that.
An independent advisory panel found the O-pill's less complex active ingredient posed fewer risks than other estrogen-reliant contraceptives. The pill could become widely available as early as next January without an age limit.
Now, I do think you're going to see some pushback from conservative groups that say, you know, there really should be an age restriction on it because parents should be involved in that.
Health experts have pushed for an over-the-counter contraceptive for years, but their campaign took on new urgency after the Supreme Court struck down abortion rights protections last year. Full abortion bans are in place in more than a dozen states. Several others have imposed restrictions. In Iowa, protests at the Capitol where Republicans pushed through a bill banning most abortions after 6 weeks. Governor Kim Reynolds planning to sign that legislation today with legal challenges poised to follow. With the FDA's approval, the big question now, how much will the O-pill cost? The drug maker says it will be affordable and could release pricing details as early as next week. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
That leads us to your viewer poll. You can scan the QR code on your screen to take part. We asked you, do you support making access to birth control easier? Okay, let's take a look. 68% of you say yes, and 32% of you say no. We want to keep hearing from you. Come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to take part in our viewer poll, and thank you for taking part if you did this morning. Law enforcement officers say fentanyl is deadly and the issues caused by the drug are going to get worse before it gets better. One of the most dangerous aspects of fentanyl is that it's being added to many popular drugs, oftentimes to unsuspecting users. In many cases, users will buy what they think is Xanax, Percocet, or Adderall when it's a pill that looks like those drugs, and in reality, it is a fentanyl pill in disguise. These counterfeit pills are extremely hard to tell fact from fiction, even stumping the experts.
I've been a pharmacist for 40 years and I can't tell the difference. I know that the DEA guys tell me they can't tell the difference. And you know, looking at a tablet, that's a game we play. Is this real or is this fake? It's not, you're not able to tell.
The Texas Department of State Health Services reports that since 2019, fentanyl-related deaths among Texans have increased more than 500%. You can watch the full 25 News Now Extra, Fentanyl Unmasking the Deadly Wave, on our website, crossroadstoday.com. Also come to our YouTube where you'll find extended interviews with those involved in the project. And there is help for people battling a drug addiction. Narcotics Anonymous can be reached at 818-773-9999 or go to na.org. The time is now 6:47 on your Friday morning. Still to come, an autopsy report has revealed Lisa Marie Presley's cause of death. Time to celebrate some birthdays. Happy second birthday to Adriel. We love you so much. Love Uncle Doug and Aunt Barbara.
And happy 16th birthday to Zayden. Love from your family. We love you, Zayden.
Happy birthday to Aubrey. Wishing you the happiest 92nd birthday from your wife and family and Disabled American Veterans Auxiliary family. We love you.
And yesterday was Indiana Jones star Harrison Ford's birthday. And today, his Dial of Destiny co-star Phoebe Waller-Bridge has a birthday today. She is 38. To see your birthday wish live on 25 News Now Sunrise, come to crossroadstoday.com. Click on More Under Home. You'll see the KVU. Submit your birthday.
There's some time travel in that new movie, Trey. It's pretty cool.
Interesting.
All right, the time is now 6:38, actually 6:48 on your Friday morning. Don't go anywhere, and happy birthday if you're celebrating one today, or maybe it's this weekend. We'll be right back.
Good morning, happy Friday, 6:51 is the current time. And again, the temperatures will be the big weather issue today. Hot no matter where you go, even from the coast to the inland areas. And the feel-like temperature coming in by 8 a.m. Notice the temperature is a little bit cooler in the western parts of the Crossroads, just temporarily, and some dry air has worked in from the west in that part of the Crossroads region. While on the coast and areas to the east of Victoria, dealing with a 92-95 degree heat index value coming up by 8 a.m. But never fear, as we work throughout the rest of the time period today, everyone will be at or above 100 degrees in the heat index value coming up by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, 106 here in Victoria during that time. And that'll be pretty much the rest of the day, 105 to 106 by the time we get to about 4 o'clock in the afternoon as well. Approaching 110 more than likely coming in from Dixon area, Clarence City, and down to Beeville. That's why these areas here have the excessive heat warning in effect. And while we have just the heat advisory, but that doesn't mean you need to let your guard down. You need to be careful out there if you're working during the heat of the day. And a few clouds in the morning time, otherwise nice and sunny today, and definitely on the hot side. So we'll call it Victoria 96 degrees. Morning clouds giving way to mostly sunny skies. No rain. I wish you'd get some rain, but just not happening anytime soon. Overnight lows in the upper 70s, southerly winds, humid conditions. And for your day tomorrow, keep the temperature once again in the 90s. Triple-digit heat index value. And keep that going for the next several days. High pressure not budging at all over the region, so we're keeping it hot and dry with a lot of sun, with highs in the upper 90s.
An autopsy report has revealed Lisa Marie Presley's cause of death. The 54-year-old singer and songwriter's death was ruled as being from natural causes due to the effects of a small bowel obstruction. The report released by the Los Angeles County Medical Examiner says the complication that Presley experienced is a common complication with bariatric surgery. Presley died at a Los Angeles hospital in January, where she was rushed by paramedics responding to a 911 call of a woman in cardiac arrest at her home. The autopsy report says she was complaining of stomach pain earlier in the day. Beyoncé is bringing her Renaissance World Tour home to the U.S. after kicking it off in Europe. Live Nation lists the shows this month in Nashville, Louisville, Minneapolis, Chicago, Detroit, and the New York area. From there, Beyoncé's tour schedule runs into the early fall. Renaissance is Queen Bey's 7th album. She now holds the distinction of being the recording artist with the most Grammys in history. Gotta love Beyoncé. Still to come on Sunrise, news to know before you go. Victoria County Sheriff's Office deputies are investigating a burglary at a former elementary school. Victoria County Sheriff's Office investigating a burglary at the former Guadalupe Elementary School at 1952 Guadalupe Road. Wednesday night at around 10:20 p.m., 3 suspects entered the building through a window. They broke and stole televisions, among other property. Anyone with information can call the Victoria County Sheriff's Office at 361-575-0651, and you can call Crime Stoppers at 361-572-4200. Jackson County Sheriff's Office reports 2 attempted vehicle break-ins Wednesday afternoon. The break-ins were in the south part of Edna. The vehicle is described as a blue, newer model Nissan small SUV. Authorities say that it is believed to be part of a much bigger set of crime incidents. If you see or have seen a vehicle matching this description, please contact the Jackson County Sheriff's Office at 361-782-3541. Follow us on Twitter at Crossroads Today. Read the Texas Tribune article about a multi-billion-dollar tax cut for property owners that's now headed to the governor's desk. The U.S. House voted Thursday to add language to the National Defense Authorization Act that bans the Secretary of Defense from paying for or reimbursing abortion-related expenses. The House voted 221 yeas to 213 nays. Other amendments adopted by the House would limit or prohibit the Department of Defense and military health care from paying someone from paying for hormone therapy or gender reassignment surgeries. The vote will also bar the DoD from funding personnel dedicated to diversity and inclusion. Lawmakers voted on party lines with few party crossovers. The exceptions include Representative Henry Cuellar, who voted yes with Republicans, and Republican Representatives Brian Fitzpatrick and John Duarte voted no with Democrats. The Texas Department of State Health Services reports 3 cases of skunks infected with rabies in Lavaca County this year. The Lavaca County Today reports county commissioners were told the rabid skunk cases in Victoria County are spilling over into Lavaca County. Victoria County has reported 10 cases of rabid skunks this year. All right, we want to invite y'all to experience our digital streaming service, Crossroads Today Plus. You can find it on your connected TV through Amazon Fire TV, Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, and on your cell phone. Just search Crossroads Today Plus. Let's go ahead and get a last look at our forecast for the weekend. Trey, I'm headed to Rockport.
Yeah, it looks pretty good down there. What you need to do is take your sunscreen and be careful. It's still going to be hot no matter where you're going, because the attributed heat index value will be no matter where you are on the crossroads. Starting off the morning time with heat index values in the 90s or so, 100s or so by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and 106 or 7 by the time we get to 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon as well. And then a few clouds this morning, otherwise nice and sunny conditions today, heating up that atmosphere, causing us to sweat a little bit around here, but we'll be okay. 96 degrees, triple-digit heat index value by the afternoon. Morning clouds, sunny skies. Remember the heat advisory for the Crossroads area of Victoria County until 8 p.m. this evening. Overnight low 77 degrees, mostly clear and humid. And highs tomorrow once again in the upper 90s or so. Triple-digit heat index value. I'm sure you're used to hearing that by now. 10 to 20 mile-per-hour winds. Rest of the week time frame coming up next week. Sunny skies, more heat, more humidity, and dry conditions. Highs in the upper 90s. Stay safe and be cool out there, Carolina.
Thank you, Trey, and thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful day and rest of your weekend. Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Crossroads Today, and join James, Dawn, Matt, Karina, and Gina today for 25 News Now at 5, 6, and 10.